Welcome to another episode of Piecing It Together, the podcast where we take a look at a new movie and try to figure out what movies might have inspired it. And today on the show, we are live from downtown cinemas for The Conjuring Last Rites, the quote-unquote wink-wink final movie in the Conjuring series, which after the box office this one has had this weekend, I was going to say that anyway because they keep making these movies, but now they're really going to keep making these movies. But anyway, we are live from downtown cinemas with my wife, Gina Mizzoni, her cousin, Jay Spaghetti, and Tia Bean returning to the show. And we had a very fun conversation over there at downtown cinemas. Nice crowd. The Nun showed up, which was very ridiculous and so much fun. And always a great time over there at Downtown Cinemas. We got 2 more live shows coming up at Downtown Cinemas, Him and then Tron Ares. So check the show notes, piecingpod.com. You can enter to win tickets right now. I hope to see you out at these shows if you're here in Las Vegas. And if you're not here in Las Vegas, just keep listening. You can subscribe wherever you're listening right now and follow us on social media at Piecing Pod. And with that said, let's talk about The Conjuring Last Rites. All right, so I'm David Rosen, the host of the Piecing It Together podcast. We're going to talk about The Conjuring Last Rites, but first, I want to introduce my panel here. First up, Gina Mizzoni back on the podcast. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Yes, I am Gina. I am David's wife. I am a huge horror movie fan, and I love the paranormal. I've been obsessed with it since I was a kid. And anytime Dave has a horror movie, that's usually, well, I don't do every single one, but the only time I'm a guest on the show is if there's a horror movie.
And to be fair,
I did Beetlejuice.
Which is horror adjacent.
Which was horrible.
Yeah, that too. Also, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Gina, because I had no intention of doing this as a live show. I'm not really that big of a fan, although I thought this was pretty good, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But Gina wanted to do it, and I was like, you know what? Sure, let's do this one. So Tia Bean up next. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tia. I am an actress. I work at the John Wick Experience here in Las Vegas currently, and Universal Horror Unleashed. Ooh,
nice.
Yay. So you might see me in an action film, live action film, or a live horror movie in front of you. Who knows? But yeah, I also do independent film and stuff. And I wanted to bring up that I am also a former haunted tour guide.
Yeah.
I have one of my former tour guides with me. I'm also a former podcaster. I had a podcast called My Weird Little Podcast, and we talked about the paranormal as well. Also, Teresa was also my podcast partner, who will be on your show coming up pretty soon.
That's right.
Actually. But I also wanted to bring up, I don't know if you remember, but the first time I met you, you were on my podcast, and
Sure.
I talked about Ed and Lorraine Warren and the Conjuring films.
Yeah.
And I felt like I didn't impress you, and I was like, oh, that, because like I was new to Vegas, and like you were the first guest from Vegas that I had on my podcast, and it was still the pandemic, so like
Sure.
couldn't meet anyone in person at all. And I was just like, I don't think I impressed him very much. But then since I've been on your show multiple times, and it's meant a lot to me to come on your show and to like be welcomed into the community. And I'm going to try not to cry. I'm running on very little sleep. But really like being welcomed and doing these and getting to like share my opinion and be like included in something has been like really cool. So
I absolutely love that. A little round of applause for that, because I mean, putting together a community of film lovers, horror lovers in this case, and just people who love getting together and talking about movies, that's what it's all about. So, and it's always great having you on, Tia. So,
yay. Okay.
Jesse up next. First time since
Hi.
the Beetlejuice show, but happy to have you back. Introduce
Thank you for
yourself
having
to
me.
everybody.
My name is Jessie. I'm sorry I have to follow that. I'm a visual artist. I'm also a huge fan of horror movies. And when you guys invited me back, I was excited and delighted to come back, and I couldn't resist.
Absolutely.
And Jesse's my cousin.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use that card, but yeah.
Yeah. It works. It
But
works.
me and Jesse love horror movies. We've
Yes.
loved them since we were little kids. So
Yeah.
it's special for us to be able to do this together.
Absolutely. So, getting into The Conjuring, The last one was terrible. I think we could all kind of
I don't
agree.
even remember
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Dave was telling me about it. He's like, it's like a court case, and I'm like, I don't remember. I must have blacked it out.
I think that's possible. And to be fair to it, even though I didn't really like that movie, it was during the pandemic, and it was one of those movies that kind of, it was meant to be in theatrical, got delayed a million times. It finally came out. It just kind of got buried and then put on streaming, and we all just kind of half watched it as it was on, PVOD or whatever for $20 at home. And so it didn't exactly make the same impression as watching one of these movies in the theater, which this was a lot more fun today. And for all the other Conjuring movies, the Annabelle, the Nun, all that kind of stuff, seeing it in the theater with the gasps and the laughs and the fun of being in an audience watching one of these movies is a much better way to experience one of these. But I don't usually do this, but so for our show, the main thing for anyone who hasn't heard the show before, it's talking about a film through the lens of what movies might have inspired it. And we call those puzzle pieces. And I usually try not to go with a previous entry in the series as a puzzle piece here, but I want to go back to the first Conjuring because this is all about reconnecting to themselves and to what they've been through and what that puts onto their kid, and about tying up loose ends and all this kind of stuff. I also think it's about continuing to try to find cases that, although they have similar situations between everything that happened, it's like they got to find new ways to make it interesting and make it exciting. And you guys, all three of you, I think, are like big like into paranormal and like probably like know all these kinds of cases, a lot of the real ones that Ed and Lorraine Warren were involved with and all this stuff. And so to keep going back to the well over and over again, it's a very difficult thing. And so I think going back to the original Conjuring and trying to say, well, what did we do? Let's try to find some new ways to mine that well a little bit. But so the Conjuring as a first puzzle piece, easy one, of course. But I do want to move on to Gina first here.
I guess that leads really well into my first puzzle piece because the Conjuring tonight, it was supposed to be about the Smurl family haunting, and they did not need to make it like a replica of the first Conjuring movie. The Smurl family haunting is so creepy. So that's my first puzzle piece. There was a movie in 1991. It was a made-for-TV
Totally took my
movie, and it scared the crap out of me.
Oh my God! Yes.
And I've watched it twice as an adult. And it's not scary. It's like my memory of it is horrific. I mean, this movie scared the crap out of me. Has anyone in the audience ever seen that movie? Does anyone remember that movie?
The Haunted. It was a 1991 TV movie. You can only really watch it on a bootleg DVD, which I think I got you for like a birthday or something.
The
right?
Lifetime version.
It is.
Yeah.
Asked me to
And
watch.
it's so
It's like Lifetime meets Goosebumps.
right.
Yeah.
But my memory of it is it's just like, first of all, the wife is in the basement they live in a duplex. The Smurl family lives in a duplex, and oh, we have a guest in here. Ooh.
Wow.
Does that happen in the TV movie?
Oh, so
That's awesome.
so the audience that is listening to the podcast,
Is that
we
haunted
can
popcorn?
describe what's happening right now. We actually have the nun in here right now, walking around in the
Hell
movie
yes.
theater.
This has like never happened before.
Oh.
It's coming towards me, and I don't know why. And I'm
Yeah.
very. Wait, what is that? Like a? Is that a Lego movie popcorn bucket?
No,
What
those
was
are
that?
McDonald's.
Is that real face paint? Let me see. I like it.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Can we get a quick selfie here?
Yeah, we gotta get a
before we,
selfie.
If I didn't see her before the movie, I'd be like really freaked out right now.
Well, that was freaky.
Amazing.
So cool. So cool.
I don't want to put my hand in there.
I'll put my
No, I'm
hand
not going in there.
Put my hand in. Oh. Hand sanitizer. Fingertip spray.
Holy water.
Sorry, folks. This has never happened before.
Awesome. So back to the movie. So the family is living in a duplex. The in-laws, the husband's parents live in next door. And anyway, the lady, the wife is in the basement, and she keeps hearing this Janet.
Janet.
It's like really creepy. They did not do that in this movie.
It was more like Janet.
Yeah, they did.
Nor did they.
It was one time,
even,
too.
Like the demon, they had the demon like assaulting the dad.
The rape.
But
incube.
in the haunted, it's like goosebumps
The
porn.
succubus. Yeah, yeah. It
It's
was
like so.
It was so creepy.
disturbing, but yet hilarious at the same time. And it's like, this shouldn't be funny.
No.
It's actually
It's
really
assault.
sad.
But as a child, did you watch it as a child?
I did not. I
Okay.
watched it like this week.
As a child, it was so creepy. It doesn't, like, my memory of it looks completely different. That's what's so weird. It's really weird to, like, it's almost like the Mandela effect or the Mandela effect. Like, did that really,
Yeah, I have a quick question for you guys, and Jesse, you've seen it too, The Haunted. Did you guys think that the Smurl family was something The Conjuring should do? That they should like squeeze them into a story at some
I
point?
was happy they did.
Okay.
I was happy they did, and that's why. But then when I saw the trailer for the movie,
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, it's not going to really be about the Smurf. Like,
Yeah, this is a kitchen sink horror movie.
I'm sorry to remember it. Honestly, I just remember
you came
a dream.
Over my house
I
and
remember
watched
that.
it in 2019. I had you come over and watch it with me.
Yeah, pre-COVID. So
Yeah, you came
Sorry.
over.
The
Lots
whole
of-
world changed
yeah,
since.
yeah.
whole brain's changed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gina.
So anyway, so I think that story deserves its own movie.
I think so too, because this it's an interesting story, and this had to wrap up the Warrens. It had to squeeze in Annabelle and all these other ghosts and all this stuff, and so that story alone could definitely make its own more modern movie than a 1991 TV
Yeah,
movie.
and in that movie, or I think in the original, the story, the true story, there was not a mirror involved.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know why they had to put, because just a house that suddenly has paranormal activity that comes out of nowhere is creepy enough.
So there wasn't a mirror. They just
there was
added
not
that?
a mirror in the original.
One of my puzzle
story.
pieces about the damn mirror.
Well, it works for this movie. It just doesn't work for the
yeah.
other movie.
Yeah, we're
so-
talking about the old movie.
Yeah,
I
so.
have my work cut out for me. I'm afraid you're all going to steal my puzzle pieces.
Oh, well,
No.
let's.
Should've
It's
taken the
possible.
first
I
seat.
think Dave told you Gina called dibs on that
Gina
movie.
called dibs
'Cause
on
that
that
was the
movie,
whole,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would have,
okay.
so I was ready with that piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Cool.
Well,
So
let's
I'm
go to
sure
one from
you're-
you, Tia. What do you
Okay,
got?
cool. I'm gonna say this one because it's my best one
All right.
besides the haunted. And since you mentioned the mirror, I'm gonna say it first.
Okay,
That's my
all right.
strategy.
All right.
Yep.
Let's see.
It's a movie from the 1990s, from 1990 actually, called Mirror Mirror.
Mirror.
Okay, good. Awesome.
No, you're
Okay,
good.
cool. Over everyone's head. Wonderful. And it's surprisingly very similar to this. Like the mirror looks very similar. It's about a girl who has like cute bangs, which the girl in this movie had cute bangs too, and I do as
Yeah,
well.
I was gonna say you did.
If you haven't noticed. A girl with cute bangs obtains a mirror from the estate that her parents purchased, and it's like kind of left over in the house. And she's like super gothic, and she's like, no, I want to keep this mirror. It's the one thing I like about this house. And then the mirror starts to like change her personality, and she ends up getting powers, and they end up like finding out that the mirror is demonic. And there's like so many weird parallels to this with like the touching of the mirror. Of course, everyone in a haunted mirror movie touches
You got to
the
touch
mirror.
the mirror, yeah.
And of course, it cracks when you touch it, but in Mirror Mirror, it bleeds, which is super cool. It's so underrated. Like, this movie's really, really cool. There's a part where, like, the dog is attacked as well. And then the garbage disposal gag. They also did that in Mirror Mirror. And I was just like, interesting that they chose to do that in this movie as well, with, like,
We're gonna
blood
have
in
to
it.
check this movie
I
out.
want- I
This is-
can't
It
wait.
sounds like something
You
you'd like.
I've never
Laura.
seen it
should.
before.
Yeah.
I think it's on Tubi, so
All right.
yes.
All right.
Please
Who's
watch
in it? Like, is there any notables?
The only star, there's some people who are like recognizable. The only star in the movie that's like of merit is Yvonne DiCarlo, who was Lily Munster on the Munsters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and she's much older, but she's like the, oh my God, the psychic lady from like Poltergeist. She's kind of like that kind of character in it. And the lead actress is kind of unknown. She's done like a few things, but her name is fantastic. Her name is Rainbow Harvest.
Hell yeah.
Which, yeah, and she's got bangs with like a buzz side and iconic.
Love it.
For 1990?
1990.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Beautiful. Love it.
Definitely
Ahead of
check
its
it out.
time.
Real quick before we get to Jesse's first puzzle piece, you brought up the dog. Didn't the dog die and then was alive as they were leaving the house in this? That was weird.
I mean, I guess you can't kill the dog.
You can't kill the dog.
Yeah.
You know what? I noticed that the dog had died, and then I didn't notice.
Yeah,
the
as
dog
they
was
were running out of the house, he was
resurrected.
on he was on a leash.
Oh.
Yeah. Oops.
Wow, that's
yeah. Let's go to Jesse's first one. What do you got?
Well, my first puzzle piece was about Candyman.
Oh, nice.
And my lovely sister took me to go see that when I was a wee child. 1992, it said, so super young. It made a huge impression, clearly. But it's kind of about Bloody Mary. So
Sure.
if you're messing with the mirror, and just like Candyman, if you say his name a couple times in the mirror, you're going to get it. So,
Yeah.
but that's what it reminded me of. But I don't like my puzzle piece anymore because it had nothing to do with the movie.
No, it had everything to do with this movie. It's just not with the other one.
I didn't see any connection though.
But I mean, because this
was the
is all
mirror,
about
the
that
Annabelle.
mirror, they had to bring the mirror in and make this whole movie like it kind of ties everything together, really, when you think
I must
about
have
it.
missed that
So
with the dog.
yeah,
I felt like there
except
were
for the-
so many, too many themes.
There was a
in
lot
this.
going
there's
on.
too
Like,
much going on.
The mirror was so unnecessary.
It totally was.
And then
'cause I thought it was about the
Annabelle,
mirror.
Annabelle felt like they screened the film and then the ratings were bad, so they were like, let's add a scene with Annabelle, and it's only in that one part, and she doesn't really show up anywhere else, and she doesn't say Annabelle's in the attic. She says something's in the attic.
Yeah.
So they could have just easily cut whatever was the previous scene, which was probably better, and put the Annabelle scene in there.
True. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
Somebody on
so
Letterboxd said that
unnecessary.
Annabelle should start charging them rent because in every movie, it's like, yeah, it has to be in it. But
The movie was unnecessarily long.
it was very long too. Yeah.
It didn't need to be that long.
They had to
Well,
get
then
They need
100
Annabelle.
minutes,
They had
right?
to add out all these elements to
every
it.
last thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta add the minutes and you gotta subtract the lights. But anyway,
was dark.
I'll go maybe a bit of a stretch here. But speaking of Tia's place of employment, I'm gonna go with John Wick, not because of the dog, but because being pulled back in for that one last job, which turns into this gigantic, epic, battle with evil and everything. And in John Wick, we get sequels upon sequels in which it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But from that initial first movie, it's just like, I really want out. I just want to live my life and then get pulled back in. And you can go with a number of other one last job kind of movies. Like this kind of takes that. And Patrick Wilson is so good. And he was like, I thought the best part of this movie. He's really fun to watch. He's very funny. He's got great timing. And he should be in an action movie, one last job movie. He would do really well in that and get like those like too old for this shit kind of jokes going and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so really any one last job movie, but let's go with John Wick for it. So
Okay.
Gina, let's go to one from you.
So I'm gonna pick like a little puzzle piece that's completely random.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesse, this is gonna be more like what the hell than yours was. I thought yours was great. So
Oh,
you
thanks.
thought yours wasn't. Here's this one.
Okay.
Father of the Bride.
Oh,
Oh,
boy. Love
how
it.
so?
The father, the daughter's getting engaged real quick.
Is that with
the-
Steve
the-
Martin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It just reminded me of like those dynamics of the dad. The dad's upset.
Dad's
that-
always upset.
he doesn't
You
like the
know?
boyfriend.
Yeah.
He feels protective of the daughter. Everything's moving too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm throwing that one in there.
It's fun.
Just to
Yeah,
lighten up the
that's fun.
conversation.
No,
a bit.
I'm all for it. And like I said, Patrick Wilson is so funny as the dad here, and just totally like he's battled the devil, and like he's like
Right.
upset about his daughter
Right.
possibly marrying this guy. So yeah, it's very very fun stuff.
I
there.
think that grounded the movie a bit.
Yeah,
Right?
I think that's fair
made
to
it a
say.
little more relatable.
Yeah,
The wedding scene at the end was so unnecessary too.
Did-
I
did-
thought
did
maybe
anyone
because I'm
else-
a wedding photographer, but I liked that scene. I thought it was really
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah,
I thought it
garbage.
was sweet. I don't know.
Did anyone else think like the ghosts were going to be in the audience? Like, as,
I loved how random ping pong beer queer guy was like in the audience. Like, is he from another movie?
Wait, at the end there was a lot of
Yeah.
like Lily, is it Tyler in
Yeah,
it?
like-
the chick from Mystic Pizza. She was in it.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
she was
Conjuring
in the original
2
Conjuring.
was in the
Yeah.
original, or she was there too.
Yep.
Yeah, so
All
And the
right.
Schroep family was at the wedding too.
Yeah.
They
I
weren't
I was
noticed.
wondering about that because they like focused in on like
Why-
30 people, and I'm like, there was only like 5 people in
Do
this
they
movie.
not
Yeah,
have
that's why.
like regular
was awesome.
family and friends? They have
No.
like why would they have
They have
like
castmates.
clients? Like
Yeah.
why would you want to see those people on your wedding day? Wasn't it a bad
Yeah.
luck to bring that energy to
I
your
don't-
wedding?
they should have just
in
brought the
real-
mirror too. Put that
Yeah.
in the pews.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh,
In
God.
real life, most of the families didn't like the Warrens after the fact
Sure.
either,
That's
because of
true.
how they exploited them. So
That's
they,
an interesting
that
factoid.
would not be realistic for them to be at the wedding.
Yeah,
So-
I'm going to bring up how they treat the Warrens
put
in
them
a
on
future
blast. I
puzzle
like that.
piece. But Tia, let's go to another one. What do you got?
Okay, I'm gonna go with 1982's The Entity.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll go with that. I mean, originally, so I did see this movie a week ago, or
did, you
like when
did.
it first came out, because I get super nervous about these things and like I feel like I'm gonna sound dumb. I did see it, and I watched as many like ghost movies as I could leading up to it, and I picked out The Entity before seeing the movie. Then I saw the movie, and then I was like, oh, they didn't add in like the whole assault thing. So the whole premise of The Entity is that like the spirit is assaulting this woman and no one believes her. Everyone says that it's like in her head, and like the psychiatrist is like gaslighting her because he's a man and he knows better, you know. And there's this whole like machismo part of it, you know, which made me very angry. But I don't know. It was also one of the first movies that talked about a real life case other than Amityville, the Amityville horror. It came out in like pretty soon after that, and The Entity was a real case that was like very much televised as well. And I liked how they incorporated that in,
all the
in this.
television.
Because the Schmirl family actually did go to the press before before the Warrens got a hold of them.
Right.
But obviously the Warrens saw it on TV and was like, ooh, cash grab.
Yeah, probably.
You know, not to throw too much shade at them.
No.
But yeah, The Entity, because it was very much in the media prior to it being a book and then it being a movie as well.
That's
yeah.
one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm sure you liked this line. Who do you think you are, Buck Rogers? Or who does he think he is, Buck Rogers?
Buck Rogers.
Ron Silver's character says that, the machismo.
I'll have to watch this.
psychiatrist.
I'm not familiar with
Best,
That's-
one of the
that's
best
great.
movies. It's about a woman who gets raped by a ghost, and
Oh
it
my.
stars Barbara Hershey and Ron Silver.
this. I love
She's great.
But I thought Ron Silver was a little bit attractive. Like me and one of my friends, like we have this inside joke about that movie, and we're like obsessed with Ron Silver.
They
We
always-
think he's kind of attractive.
Pick like kind of attractive men to like talk down, and it's kind of like, ooh, yes, please be mean to me. Like it's a little of a turn on, but then it gets old, and then you're like, oh wait, no, you're actually awful, you know. So sorry. Oop.
Well, we were just watching The Haunted, the movie that Gina brought up last night, and I was thinking of The Entity during that assault scene. I mean, like it goes with this particular story really well. So
I
definitely.
love that you brought it up.
Yeah, good
It's
one
of the
for sure.
best. Yeah.
Jesse, let's go to you.
The second puzzle piece is going to be from The Exorcist.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so when she had her birthday cake, the candle lit, and the ghost or the spirit kept blowing it out, I was thinking of the mom up in the attic from The Exorcist.
Oh, I like that.
Pazuzu. So
Yeah. No, that's a
where
really
my
good
mind
one.
went.
I thought you were going to actually go with the other priest who shows up and then like goes to try to get the
Father
Catholic Church.
Karras?
Yeah, that was the best scene in the movie, I thought. Like that whole sequence in the office and then the woman typing the secretary and she disappears, and like I thought that whole scene, and that reminded me like, you know, just of them, like of those characters from The Exorcist. So but yeah, definitely a good one to bring up here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with, let's see. Well, you know what? Okay, speaking of the you know, the Warrens,
and about how this movie and really the series treats them and makes them out to be like these saints. I was thinking of movies that do that. A lot of the times it's like music biopics, which will like create these like saints out of musicians. I was thinking of Sound of Freedom, that movie about Tim Ballard, like looking for the missing children, and like that whole thing where it's just like, it's taking this like normal human being who has their, their good and their bad and all that stuff, and just makes them into like the best person in the entire world. And it seems like that's what they're doing with the Warrens. They're like really making them out and like washing over any potential little issues, which anyone who knows anything about the Warrens, there's like a lot that could be brought up, but that's just not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is to make them out to basically be living saints that get to live their whole life and everything's perfect, and they saved the day, they saved all these people, and then they went to go be grandparents and have their little happy everything. But so those kinds of movies, like I said, a lot of times it's music biopics will do it like a lot, where they just wash over all the bad stuff and just make it all just really, really nice and shiny. But let's go to one more from you, Gina.
So just one more.
Yeah, one more, and we'll open
Can
up
I
to the
do
floor.
two
Go,
small?
put 'em
Because they're
together.
both small ones.
Sure, let's
So
do it.
one of them is Paranormal Activity
Okay.
because of the footage, right?
Sure.
So that's the movie about the video footage.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. So the video footage.
Sure.
And then the other one is one of my favorite creepy movies. It's a Disney movie actually, or it's Paramount. I think it was Paramount Pictures, but Disney, like it had the Disney logo. Watcher in the Woods. Does anyone remember that movie?
That's
wasn't
that just opened up a weird part of my brain.
Isn't that a creepy movie? Didn't you just that blue light in the
Yeah, I
forest?
hardly remember that movie.
it's so
but
good.
yes, I remember it being like this is scary.
Yeah.
This is like scary for a Disney movie.
I'm nervous to rewatch it because obviously The Haunted didn't live up to my childhood memories. I'm scared that if I watch this one, Watcher in the Woods, it's gonna be like really hokey. So
It's tough because and that's a really tough thing with horror movies in general. I mean, horror movies are killing it, and right now this movie is blowing up the box office this
Sure.
weekend. It's crazy. But what is scary? I don't
well,
know.
so the scene that reminds me of that movie is the mirror. I'm gonna go back to the mirror again.
damn mirror.
The blonde is standing. The dot. It's a long. I'm not gonna go into the nuts and bolts of that movie, but there's a really creepy scene with a mirror in a
Okay.
funhouse that's really, really creepy with a whole bunch of mirrors.
We're gonna have to watch
reminded
that.
me of yeah. So yeah,
Tia's scared right
highly
now, I can
recommend
tell.
watching it. Halloween is coming up. Put that one on your list.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch that one
Yeah.
for sure.
So.
I just looked up into the audience and saw the nun again, and I'm what is scary? That's scary. Tia, one more from you.
Okay, this one's it's a stretch, but you took one of mine, so
Oh no.
Burnt Offerings from 1976.
I've heard
Okay, cool.
that. I've heard it's
Obscure
amazing.
enough. Great.
Yeah.
So basically, this family, it's like very much like the Shining type of thing, where this family has to go watch this house, and the owners of this house leave their grandma in the house to be taken care of by the family, but you never see her. She's probably a demon, but the family has their dynamics in the house that may or may not be haunted, and the wife becomes obsessed with it and everything. But in the fact that the dad didn't believe the family, when in Burnt Offerings, the mom and the son are both like, I just want to leave. Or, well, the mom doesn't want to leave. She wants to stay there forever. But the son's like, I want to leave. Something's going on here. I've got a weird feeling. And then the dad didn't really believe it until something happened to him. And then he ends up being possessed and trying to kill his son. I'm spoiler, sorry. It's been out since 1976, so
Sure.
you've had time.
Yeah.
So, but in that, and I don't know, it's just it's another creepy house possessing the family, affecting the family dynamics type of movie. But
Sounds like another good one for our list for
it's
sure.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's worth watching.
Right on.
But it's a little bit of a stretch tempting it to this. So,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
I think we have a lot of stretches in
Yeah, we're all just
That's
stretching.
what makes the show so fun.
We're all just stretching. That's what happens here. Jesse, you want to stretch for one more?
Okay, this is a stretch.
All right.
But I see it. So my last piece is going to be pulled from Silence of the Lambs. So when I was staring at the movie poster, I saw the devil outlined with the silhouettes of the Warrens, and it took me back to Dolly's art. It's women manipulating their naked bodies into a skull.
Yeah.
And then I thought of the death head moth from the poster with Jodie Foster of Silence of the Lambs. So
Sure.
maybe that was an homage to that, to make their poster, their image look like that. The trickery of the devil.
I like that.
That's really cool.
I like that a lot. And I think the Conjuring series has had some really good posters, like that first poster for the very first Conjuring.
Is that the one with the noose? Or is
Yeah,
that
with the
second one?
noose.
Yeah.
And yeah, like just very stark, like really like you
Yeah.
know exactly what you're getting with those
Yeah.
posters. And like this, this series really works really well in that way. I mean, obviously this movie being such a hit this weekend. But yeah, no, that's cool. And that is such a great poster.
There was
though.
also a sound effect that sounded like Buffalo Bill's glasses when she took the shot of her mom with the camera and the film went
With
off.
the
or
flash.
The flash went off.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounded like him. I was like, oh, I'm writing that down now.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
really
I have
good,
to add
Jesse.
Buffalo Bill.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, let's open it up to the floor, see if we got anything out here. We got one right here.
I thought of Black Swan with the mirror scene because, she's surrounded by the mirrors and then she looks back and some weird stuff starts going on. So with that, I also thought of the movie Us. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when they're in the carnival, the little girl, she taps on the mirror, her evil self. and
Oh,
she sees
sure.
herself in the mirror. So yeah.
Don't
That's
mess
so
with the
f-
mirror.
Immediately thought of
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
don't mess with
Yeah.
mirrors. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I actually had written down Us before seeing the movie as something like, I bet there's going to be some Us in here. Like I always make a little list of maybes, and then I just didn't even think of it. And it's a really great way to connect it there. I love it. Right here.
I'll say Doctor Sleep, the Shining follow-up.
Sure.
So in this movie, Judy has the ability to kind of sing away her past or her kind of haunts or whatever, her nightmares. In Doctor Sleep, Danny does that with some of the old Shining things, like the Lady in the Bath, other things that chase him or haunt him from the Overlook. So as Danny wishes away his things, Judy does in this as well. And obviously there's a bunch of the Shining
Sure.
references as well, but Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, definite Shining references. And Dr. Sleep, that's a really good one. I'm not a big fan of that movie, but I will say I was trying to think of something where the child is it's the parents' fault that they have these gifts or whatever,
Yeah,
but at the
yeah.
same time they've given them something to kind of fight back and to help them through all this stuff that they've kind of thrust onto them. So
And
yeah.
Judy's wearing a hat that Rose wears in that movie.
Rose
that
the
little
hat.
that she wore at the funeral. So
Sure, Rose the Hat, absolutely. Anything else? Anybody else? Right over here.
I was thinking the mirror out of place kind of just got me, and I'm going, why? And I started thinking about it. I think it's a nod to the movie The Haunting that had all those little
Haunting.
children carved.
I swear to God, I was
yeah.
gonna say that, but I didn't think anybody would catch that. I think it's on the bedpost or the headboard.
All over the place.
Yeah? Okay.
The children were carved
And
all over the
Lily
house.
Taylor is in that too. Am I saying her name right?
Lily.
Lily.
Taylor.
Jesus
The
Christ.
lady that was at the end. At the
Yes.
wedding.
Yes.
She was in that.
Okay. Wow. I guess I should have said it.
There you go. Would have been a good stretch.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just kidding. No, good one though. That definitely. The design of the mirror was really cool. Even though I think we
cool.
all agreed it was completely unnecessary for this story, it was definitely really well designed. I think, and it had a really cool look to it. And the callback to The Haunting, more haunting movies. That's an interesting way to connect it there. Right here.
I'm gonna say the omen when the priest gets hung,
Yeah.
News.
gets flung violently over the edge. That reminded me of the character at the beginning of the omen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great opening sequence, and like I said, this sequence was probably my favorite part of this movie. So great thing to play an homage to. I think I saw a hand up there. Yeah.
Poltergeist 3 with the whole mirror.
Carol Ann in the mirror,
and
thought
with
about
the
that too.
wedding Dress and how in Poltergeist 3, Kane is after Carol Ann through
right.
the mirrors and kind of it even breaks out of the scene very similarly.
I don't think I've ever actually seen Poltergeist 3, but you've got yeses from everyone else on the.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Right on, right on. All right. Right here, one more.
just one more. Since we're talking about the wedding, The Incredibles. At the very beginning, when Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl get married, they cut to the audience, and Edna's there, and Frozone, and all their little superhero friends, just for a couple
Like the
seconds.
labyrinth?
Literally 2 seconds.
All the friends in the mirror?
So
Yeah.
I'll back
Yeah.
Incredibles, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually
Very
thinking of the the Avengers Endgame when they go to the funeral and they have every person that's ever been in one of these movies just happens to be at that funeral. Or is it funeral, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. We got some closing thoughts here. Gina, anything else you want to mention about this?
Just that, yeah, it's just interesting to see, like, I guess, like I said, the thing about like a movie from your childhood and then to rewatch it as an adult, and then to see a really big movie franchise do that story, kind of like be part of. I mean, obviously the whole movie wasn't about the Smurls, but still seeing it in this, it's kind of weird. It's interesting.
I should have written down the name because also I grew up in Pennsylvania, and there was the Rain Man, I think it was called, and there was a haunting in the town I grew up in, Stroudsburg, where the house was supposedly raining on the inside of the house. And
I feel like I've heard of that.
Yeah, I think it was on
The Rain Man or
Unsolved
Rain Man?
Mysteries.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
There's a lot of hauntings in Pennsylvania. Yeah. A lot of like stories of paranormal.
Maybe that'll be the next Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
But Tia, any closing thoughts here?
I mean, I felt like the movie was just so silly.
Yeah.
And
the lumberjack guy not getting his spinoff.
He looked like
just oh yeah, that's another puzzle piece that I was gonna bring up. Barbarian or Barbarians. Or where there's that like weird creature in the basement or whatever of the like Airbnb.
Good new horror movie.
Yeah.
Barbarian, good movie.
That guy reminded me kind of that creature.
I was trying to
Interesting.
think of who
Yes.
he reminded me of. I couldn't think of it. I
The monster?
Don't know who. Yeah, I still don't know who he reminded
It looked
me.
like Willem Dafoe to me.
I did want to ask this. One of the things Dave and I loved about the Conjuring franchise is that the music composer is always the monster in the movie.
Yeah.
Or the
Bashira
demon.
or something.
Yeah,
Joseph Bashira.
but I don't know if he is in this movie. We'll have to find that out.
Yeah, that would be cool if he
Maybe
was
you
Paul
should
Bunyan
Google
guy.
that really quick and see if he's the Paul Bunyan guy.
Yeah,
Have to check that.
I'm gonna look it up. Tia, anything else you want to do?
I don't know. I agree with you that the Smurls do deserve their own movie. However, I would appreciate we no longer make movies about Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
I just have my own opinions. I think commercializing them and I don't know, like praising them and putting them on a pedestal. It's like, let's make the other movie that like tells like more of the truth about them maybe. But I guess nobody wants to hear about that. So
Sure.
that's it. I don't know. It was fun.
Oh, disappointing. Different composer this time around. Benjamin Wallfish, but he's a great composer. I didn't even really notice his score here, but I love his work in other films, but he is not any of the demons. That's a shame.
Probably wasn't getting paid enough
Yeah,
to do
right.
both of those jobs.
If I score your film, I will play a demon. I'm up for it. Jesse, any closing thoughts?
I would suggest to see this movie for free.
Yeah, good,
When
good
it comes
plan.
out, it
Yeah.
was decent. It was predictable. To make a special horror movie, you have to have the right ingredients to do so. I felt like it was just repetitive. You were waiting for the jump scares. I still wouldn't watch it by myself in the dark or have it playing, but I'd rather be watching a classic horror than this. It's okay. I know it has a huge fan base, so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, people love these movies. I mean, I
do.
think the first one is still the best of the bunch, I would say. And then
For
probably
sure.
Annabelle Creation. That was the prequel, Annabelle. That one was actually good. The other ones, Anyway, yeah, the only one I haven't seen is The Nun 2. Anybody on this panel seen The Nun 2? No.
There's the Nun too.
Well, we're getting thumbs down from the nun herself. So, yeah, I think you're probably right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right,
She's
we're
a
going to
character
close
too the
this
whole
thing
time.
up. Gina, anything you want to plug, promote?
If you need a wedding photographer, what's up?
There you go. How about you, Tia?
Cool. I'll get you on my third marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. After my first two husbands go missing.
Yeah. Nice.
No, there is something I want to plug. This week I have a short film coming out called Missing, and I didn't even notice that
Nice.
tie in there. But it is about an evil mirror, which is so awesome that
Puzzle
I get
piece.
to
I'm over that
plug
mirror.
that.
Sorry.
Please watch it. It's on. You can find it through my Facebook, my Instagram, or if you want, I'll give you a card with my link tree. It's about a demonic mirror that makes the two female roommates make out. So if you want, if that's your style, it's definitely a girl-on-girl exploitation demon movie. So, and I'm so proud to be in it. I have a few more coming out this year. I have 2 more short films probably coming out this month, and one that I'm going to be in later on. And yeah, super exciting. So yeah.
And you're working over at the John Wick Experience
I
too,
am
right?
working at John Wick. So please come and visit. But keep in mind, there is no business on continental grounds.
Yes, absolutely. Jesse, anything you want to plug over there?
Not really, just world peace.
There you go. World Peace is a good idea. Good idea. I want to thank Downtown Cinemas so much for having us out. We'll be back here for him. That is coming up this month, September 21st. And then we will be back here on October 9th for Tron Ares. And we'll also be at Maya Cinemas for A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. That is on September 18th. You can find all of that at piecingpod.com. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here tonight.
Thanks, Dave and Gina.
And thank you to the Nun.
Yeah, woo!
Hi, this is Wax Trax Records here on 2909 South Decatur. We buy all your old 45s, your old albums, any type of music memorabilia. Also, we sell music memorabilia, albums, CDs, and a lot. Come on down to Wax Trax, 2909 South Decatur, or give me a call at 702-362-4300. Thank you very much.
All right, so that does it for The Conjuring Last Rites. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to everyone who showed up at Downtown Cinemas. Thank you to Downtown Cinemas. And, of course, thank you to my guests, Gina Mizzoni, Jay Spaghetti, and Tia Bean, as well as the Nun. You can follow her on Instagram at haunt.wife. Go follow her. Lots of really fun haunted house stuff and cosplay and all that kind of stuff. So go check that out at haunt.wife. So much fun. You can follow us on social media at Piecing Pod. Don't forget to join our Facebook group, Popcorn and Puzzle Pieces. A very fun, I was talking about movie-loving people all getting together, a community and all that kind of stuff. Well, that is a great place if you want to meet like-minded, very fun, movie-loving people, especially here in Las Vegas. So check out the Popcorn and Puzzle Pieces Facebook group. And don't forget, we do have a Patreon, the Produced by David Rosen Patreon, where I post bonus and advanced content from Piecing It Together, Awesome Movie Year, and from my music career. Check it out at patreon.com/bydavidrosen. And with that said, I told you about the live shows at the top of the show, so make sure you go get entered to win some tickets for those. And I got to close this out with a piece of music like I always do. And I am going to go with a track from the album I put out earlier this year, Missing Pieces, which was a 40-song collection of basically the bonus music that I would put out after my next album. But I decided to put it all out before just so I could kind of be all caught up by the time that next album comes out later this year. But this is a track called Falling for Faith. That feels like a good fit for The Conjuring, so let's go with that, and we will be back with more Piecing It Together real soon.
an All Points West production, produced by David Rosen in Las Vegas.